the scream, the shot. 45 caliber bullets are real hot. A gunshot, it's in my mind through a lot. Burning through my flesh, faith is all that I got. I took it, then my vision started getting crooked. My hearing went away, then the matrix started cooking. I'm standing there looking in his eyes. He hoping that the king and the king don't rise. Surprise! It's me, poetic X, about to set the world free. Came in this game in 2004. My pen makes sure I'll see 2,000 more. I'm sitting up high, graveyard is too low. Blood running down my pants, ambulance coming slow. I hear the sirens, visualize scenes. 24 years, what does all of it mean?
This is my testimony.
Don't let my clock stop.
Yo.
Devil chasing me, trying to cut me with his claws.
Season 4, premiere episode 1 of Truth, Realness, and Options. I want to say hello to everybody, man, in the community, in the greater Shreveport and Bossier. I want to welcome you guys to Truth, Realness, and Options. Season 4 premiere is going live. I want to say Happy New Year's to everybody. I haven't seen you guys since the last show, and we had a lot of fun. But I'm your host, Keontae, aka QT, and I want to give a shout out to our executive producer, that boy Jeff Trotter, who put this wonderful piece together for the community of Shreveport. And he's our producer, our director, and our wonderful editor who get things done around here. And we want to just, before we start anything, we want to thank everybody for supporting us on last season, on last year, giving us their lending ear and listening to Truth, Real, and Options podcast. We want to give a special shout out to my boy Jacory Patterson and Dana Nuance for helping us out last season, and also Jeremy Unmasked. That guy there is off the chain, off the charts, and have done wonderful things this year with Saints and Sinners, with Will Smith, The Emancipation. So we just want to shout some people out for helping Truth, Realness, and Options. We know you didn't have to do that, and so we are grateful for you. We pray God give you all the blessings, and we hope that this season for you guys, your shows will be wonderful this year, and you progress and make prosper this year. And so we want that for everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and get started in our show. This is Truth, Realness, and Options. We always provide the truth. And so this is Black History Month. We know that Black History Month, Black people have endured a lot of things this past season in our life, this past decade. Black people have seen a lot of history being made, whether it's negative or positive. And today we're going to honor those who went on before us, our ancestors. And I'm going to try to give you guys some real life history all the way from the beginning to where we at now. Some history has been made. Black people, we continuously make history out here. Before I do that, let's go ahead and go into our words of encouragement. Speaking of that, we know Black people have been on a great journey all our lives we had to fight, like Kendrick say. And so sometimes we need words of encouragement. So I want to say this to the people out in Greater Shreveport, that Joshua 1:9, it says, "This is my command, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you whenever you go." And I want to leave that with you guys, that you're not by yourself, you're not alone. Yeah, we are all gods and kings, but we have the Creator, the Most High, that travels with us every day, that help us go through the trials and tribulations that we face every day. Especially for my Black brothers, we know that we have to wake up every morning and face the world. And I want to give you guys encouragement that you're not by yourself. The Most High is always with you, and He loves and He adores His people. And so you got to keep Him first. Of course, keep Him first, and know that you are not alone. That go out for the people who struggling with depression, people who are, and depression, guys, is very, very, very prominent in the Black community right now. And if my executive producer don't mind, I'm gonna veer off for a second just to encourage you guys that Black people, we have to pay attention to our mental health, pay attention to how we're feeling, man. Your life is very necessary and important. All right, and if you are struggling with depression, I want you to develop a sense of that you are somebody and that you're not by yourself, that the Most High is with you. And know this, man, identify yourself, identify your purpose, because a life without purpose, it doesn't matter. And everybody have been created for a purpose in life. So I need you guys to really think highly of yourselves, kings and queens, and be who you are, be who God created you to be. The Most High didn't waste his breath for nothing. We melanated and we're loved. Alright? We melanated and we love. So I want to leave that with you guys. Okay? Alright. So we're gonna take a little brief second. We're gonna go into our moments in Black history, guys. I'm trying to take you from the beginning, from Kemet, alright, Timbuktu, all the way up to where we're at now in Caddo Parish, Louisiana. So I'm gonna take a little break real quick and we're gonna come back. This is Truth, Realness, and Options.
I'm tired of all these no good, smile in your face, talk about you behind your back, say what, pat you on your back, tell you hold it on them, son, you're doing a good job, and then fire you 2 weeks later without a notice or a warning. Good God. Talking about them haters. Have you ever had a friend you thought was your friend, but on the very end there was a hater? They love you by the pound when you're around, but when you go, they just a hater. Hey, a lot. Talking about the haters. Talking about the haters. Talking about the haters. Hey! Yeah, who we talking about? Y'all listen, let me tell you my story. Yeah, talking about them haters. In 1999, I had a good job and things were fine. Then something happened that just changed my life. The one I thought that I could trust, he turned his back and let me down. They took my job, I wiped my eyes, but still I rise. Talking about them haters. Talking about them haters. Won't put one in your mouth if your teeth was on fire and try to save ya. Steady belittle and try to degrade ya. Talking about the hateration, it makes you greater. Hey, hey, hey. In the year 2005, I started singing Southern Soul. Couldn't get no airplay, no booking for no show. I guess I was before my time. They say my music wasn't blues, and kiss no ass, hear them in blues. I pay my dues. Talking about them haters. Talking about won't put one in your mouth if your teeth was on fire to try to save ya. Steady belittle and try to degrade ya. The hateration, it makes you greater. Hey, hey, yeah. Now some of y'all might have haters in the form of church members. Some of y'all might have haters in the form of co-workers. I got haters in the church, on the job, and in the grocery store. And when people come up to me and tell me what these people are saying, this is how I respond. They just hating on me. Yeah, that's how I tell them. They just hating on me. And if you feel the same way, you can say it too. They just hating on me. Alright now. Good God. Yeah. They just hating on me. Yeah. Who we talking about? We talking about it. We're talking about them haters. Talking about them. They won't put one in your mouth if your teeth was on fire to try to save ya. They belittle and try to degrade ya. Talking about them. The hateration, it makes you greater. Sing along with me. They just hating on me. Yeah, Wayne. They just hating on me. Talk to them. Come on and sing with Wayne. They just hating on me. I see you over there. Yeah. They just hating on me. Yeah. Everybody.
All right. I want to say welcome. Thank you for looking at Truth, Realness, and Options. This is your host, QT. All right. And I'm here with my executive producer, Jeff TRO. He's here, and we're trying to give you guys Truth, Realness, and Options this year. Starting off, this is our season 4. Yes, sir. Episode 1. We welcome in the new year with some truth, some realness, and some options. Now, we just left off with our words of encouragement to know that we are not alone, that we have the Most High with us all the time. And now we want to go into Black history before the month is out, even though we know that we 365 Black. You know that nothing really was evolved or created without the melanated people. So we want to keep it real with you guys and give you guys a moment of Black history. And I want to take it all the way, let me get my notes here. I want to take it all the way from Ancient Kemet. And I know it's not a facade, but it's just a cliche for us to say that we are kings and we are queens, right? What's up, Mom? What's up, Queen? But you guys really don't know the origin of your own history, man. We were actually kings and queens. Actually kings and queens. And I know in our education systems, you know, if you look at Florida, they said that they do not want any type right now. They're trying to vote that out of African American history, right? They want to control the history that is told, all right? And I want to give a shout out to the 1619 Project. If you guys know what that is, I'll give you some information on that. But shout out to them guys as well. But we need to start learning our actual history, man, and know who we are. And one thing that I struggle with being an educator is seeing parents and seeing people say that, well, that didn't happen to me, right? That didn't happen to me, so it don't matter, you know, that what they went through, what my ancestors went through. Them people don't matter to me. But I once heard a guy say that it took 1 million and something Black folks to have you. That means that 1 million people had to give birth and go through the cycle of life for you to be standing, Black man, Black woman, where you at now. So that does matter, because if it wasn't for our ancestors, if it wasn't for those millions of people who did the cycle of life for you, you would not be standing right where you at today. And it all started in Ancient Kemet. If you guys are familiar with King Solomon and David, all those people, man, we know that they were in the Horn of Africa, in that area, Israel, Jerusalem, all those places, right? And so we had Kemet, right? And Kemet, that was the Egyptians called that the country Kemet because it was literally the Black land, all right? The Black land, all right? The name derived from the color of the rich and fertile soil, which derived from the color of the rich soil coming from the Nile inundation. All right, so Kemet was the cultivated area along the Nile Valley, and it had rich Black soil and Black people, melanated people. Okay, and so we go on to the dynasties of Kush. Right, this is where you get the kings and queens from. It was a region called Nubia, which was the cradle of civilization. Everybody, this is what they call the Eden. All right, this is what they call Eden, where the Black people originated from the Most High. Right, they call it Eden. Right, they produced several complex societies that engage in trade and industry. So all of these stores and all the stuff that you got now derived all the way from ancient Nubia. We put this stuff together, y'all. We laid the foundation for all this stuff. What you got, the world trade market right now, all of this stuff was going on in ancient Nubia. In ancient Nubia, guys, the city and state of Kerma emerged as the most dominant political force between 2450 and 1400 BC, controlling the entire Nile Valley between the first and fourth cataracts, an area as large as Egypt. So we became a threat to the Medo-Persians, the Egyptians at that time. We became a threat, Black people, because we was on our grind in that time. The Egyptians was the first to identify Kerma as Kush, and over the next several centuries, the two civilizations engaged in intermittent warfare, trade, and cultural change. Don't that sound like the colonizers today? Right? That sounds like the colonizers today. Once Black people begin to do good, right? They want to destroy, divide, and they want to conquer what we have going on. right? And so what we were going through back then, we find ourselves going through that right now today, all right? That's why it matters, black people. I no longer want to hear my brothers and sisters say that what happened in the past do not make a difference to what we got going on right now. That is the lie if we never tell it, all right? And the more we believe that is the farther we get away from who we really are. We say it as a cliche every day, kings and queens, but you don't know that you are actually kings and queens. Black people, I want y'all to take this and I want you to run with it. Think about it. We're the most hated race. We have went through slavery. We have went through genocide, right? We have went through all of these things throughout all of these centuries. Don't you think that you are somebody that somebody will spend that much time, effort, sweat, blood, and tears to bring you down, people? Come on, man. We got to wake up. You're somebody. You're somebody. Man, we're God's chosen people, man. I'm not trying to preach, but I just want to give y'all some history on who you are because you are somebody, all right? All right? And leading to those roles in the world market, the world industrial system in Kerma and Kush, later on down the centuries, we developed, a young man developed in Africa by the name of Mansa Mansu, right? All right, he was a millionaire that turned into a billionaire in Timbuktu, started with Timbuktu and giving money to Timbuktu, and he was going upsetting everybody's banking system. Everybody. He had so much gold, he'll come to your city with his money and he will send you into inflation. That's how much he was worth, right? Black man, rich man, right? A lot of people don't know about him, man, but he's still, as I know, if y'all, hey, y'all can leave comments, y'all can tell me, Mansa Musa, if he wasn't or is still noted as the world's most richest person that ever lived. Mansa Musa, okay? That guy was the richest man to ever be known, all right? So I'm going to go a little farther up to the 1860s. Now, we know that we had a turn in history in Caddo Parish, Louisiana. A lot of people don't know this about your own city, but I'm reading these notes in the 1860 census that right here in Caddo Parish, y'all, can't forget where we came from. We started off with 1,570 slaves in Caddo Parish by itself. That number increased to 7,000 slaves in just a 10-year span, all right? In a 10-year span. You had 4,733 whites living in Shreveport at that time. The slaves outnumbered them, 7,338. By the 1870 census, they had an increase of 113% slaves. And that's in a 10-year span, y'all. So right here in Caddo Parish, you had over 83 slave plantations along the greater Shreveport area. At that time, we know that the Great Raft was moved out the way so that they can push cotton, they can push tobacco, they can push what they needed up the Red River here in Caddo Parish, man. And so right here, we had that many slave plantations right here. So they took us from our land and brought us here. And a lot of people from here came in the Congo Square down in New Orleans, Louisiana, and they eventually made their way up here in the cotton plantations in Plain Dillon, Louisiana, and parts of Caddo Parish along the Red River, which was one of the major ports in this area of East Texas and Shreveport. Okay, so that's history right here in Caddo Parish. Then we had a great man by the name and a great brother by the name of Oscar James Dunn, who served as a lieutenant governor of Louisiana during the era of Reconstruction, right after slavery, and was the first African American to act as governor of a U.S. state. That was Oscar J. Dunn. So we had a lot of history going on right here in Caddo Parish and Shreveport that derived from what we were already doing. And history is still being made, y'all. People are still creating things, creating heart transplants, procedures, all type of stuff going on right here in Caddo Parish. All right? And so that's our moment in Black history. I hope I learned you something, as the old folks say. But we need to start studying who we are, man, and just know that we are somebody. You're not left alone either. All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then I'm gonna interview this wonderful young man by the name of Q Major The Violinist. He's gonna come and give you a song. I think it's one of his new features, and so he's gonna bless the game with that. And I hope you enjoy. Sit back and relax. This is Truth, Realness, and Options. Leave your comments down there. Be right back.
Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Blacker than ever. Black music, black vibes, the bass inside, holding our soul train together. The jazz, the funk, the midnight love, the Harlem Renaissance, the junk in the trunk. Black is the bass, the fire heartbeats, the temptations, the soundtrack for the streets. Black musicians play on Amazing Grace. Toss me a trumpet, auditions on Broadway. $2 and some change in a suitcase. Black artist is all I want you to play. And the poet played on, sitting on the dock of the bay. Love tones, tap dancing through the saxophone. New edition, Mr. Telephone Man, like back in the day. Black by popular demand. Diggable planets, vinyl records, bebopping, breakdance, sock cop, jukebox, music videos, the box, KRS-One, Cool Mo D, Big Daddy Kane, hip hop, the WAP, Southside, California I-8, Dr. Dre, back when black folk crowded the music shop. Cadillac Records, Motown Records, Malico, The Talent Show. Do you remember the time? Summertime, Showtime at the Apollo. 8 tracks, cassette tapes, R. Kelly, Splackavelli, H-Town, Ladies Edition, Red Light Special, Escape. Another Bad Creation, Kissing Aisha on the First Date. Word Up magazines, Afro Puffs, Heavy D, Black Coffee, No Sugar, No Cream, the entire Atlanta music scene. Chubby Checker, Fast Domino, Chuck Berry, The Supremes. How black music changed the world, you ask? For the good times, the hole in the wall, the peaches and herbs, Purple Rain, the Outcasts, refugees, radio stations, radio blasts, radio requests, turntables, DJ Screw, Sir Mix-a-Lot, Grandmaster Flash. For the rhythm and blues, love and happiness, these last $2, I'm not gonna lose. A change is gonna come. We've shed so many tears. Black music, the roots, family reunion, the proof. For the posters, the autographs, and the concerts too. Ain't no sunshine if love is blind, so this is for the cool and you. The greatest love of all. Sometimes you can't see for looking. The dramatics, the waterfall, Coltrane, Music Awards, CDs, Computer Love, Cupid Shuffle, Backyard, Boogie, Boogie Down, Bo Diddley, Lead Belly, Ray Charles, James Brown. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Fashion, trend, style, ebony, essence, jet, love child. Come on over to my place, Secret Garden, cruising, amplifiers, equalizers, Shell to Adidas, adjust your speakers, Black Planet, black is the bass.
Yo, welcome back to Truth, Realness, and Options, where we provide the truth, give you some realness, and always provide an option for you to make a better life, to live a better life. So we got my boy here, Q Major, the violinist, back in the building.
I appreciate y'all for having me again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We know he blessed us the season finale that we just had. He played Adele, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Adele. He blessed the game. Wonderful player, man. Wonderful musician. And being a musician myself, I know that this here, man, you know, you put your heart, sweat, blood, and
Yeah, I
this
appreciate
stuff.
that. Yeah, this
You
is
know?
what I like.
Yeah. So let's talk about some stuff, man. Let's talk about your career. What's been going on lately?
So right now I'm actually working on a violin album where I have like a different I have a few people featured on there too as well. I have people like, you know, mixing and mastering it for me, kind of really finding my sound, finding like what I like. And it's gonna be a big message within the album too. But I performed at a lot of places over at Shreveport, Bali's, the Casino. I performed at Next Level 318, West End Caddo Bar. So if you get out, you're gonna see me at some of these places too. Hopefully, if God willing, I can get to perform at those places again too. But it's been a crazy ride with the violin. I've just been learning more about myself, learning more of how to navigate through the music industry too as well.
Right. We know that could be a headache sometimes, especially being an independent artist, right? But man, tell the people, how did you start playing? Where did it all start from?
So my big cousin, she had a violin. I guess like she's older than me, so she had a violin when she was younger. I was about 7. And I used to like mess with it all the time. I used to get in trouble for it all the time. Then finally, like, I messed with it one day, and then my dad was like, "Yo, you really want to play this?" And I was like, "Yeah." So him and my mom got together, and they started to put me in schools that had music programs. So I think 2nd, 3rd grade was when I really started over at Summerfield. I remember my first teacher too, Miss Quinn. If you saw that, I love you. You started it off for me too. But she kind of gave me the blueprint to start off. My parents, they put me in there. They believed that I could really do it. They saw the gift in me. So they kept getting it all together for me. I did it in middle school, high school. So now it's finna be 21. So it's finna be 14 years that I played it, and I thank them for not giving up on me and just letting me do my thing with it. So I've been able to find myself with that music too.
The thing that I adore about that, man, is that you stuck with it, right? Even when it get hard. Y'all, it's hard to play the violin. I can't get my fingers right to play. I just like to beat on stuff like bam bam and play the drums. I'll stick to that. But man, it takes a lot of practice, man, to play that violin. And so this guy has stuck with it. Y'all has stuck with it, and he a beast right now. He a beast right now, you know. And I like what you said too about, you know, how it started in the music programs, and you shout out your music teacher, man, at Summerfield, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like in Shreveport, man, I see now that the music culture is starting to thrive again, man.
And that's the thing that I wanted to shout out as well too, man. It's so many great artists. It's so many great like I said, artists. They can be painting, they can be singing, rapping, like playing instruments. There's so many other people out there, but we don't get the notice that we need to get ready to show those people. So I'm really just trying to put my name out there. So I show people like, hey, like we have artists from Shreveport. Like I threw a show January 7th. It was called Resolutions and Melodies. I had a bunch of artists come out there to perform, get a platform to be able to play. Because a lot of them like have music out on platforms, but they don't get that chance to perform. A lot of people don't take that chance. So I kind of use like what I got. Use my resources too to be able to show them like, hey, like it's another world out there, like just playing this type of music, yeah. And I wish people would understand that too, man. I listen to more of people from my area than like mainstream music now because there's so many people that's giving the right messages. They just got to get the platform.
Got to get the platform out, and that's what we need to start doing in Shreveport with it being so small. And I know we have some people. I'm not gonna call names, but we got some people who blew up, left the area, right? And so we're not developing that platform. We got the money, but we want to develop the platform for others to thrive and succeed and put us on the map. We can be just as big as LA. You know what I mean? We can be just as big. If you look back at New Orleans, man, New Orleans wasn't popping like that.
Yeah.
But your boy Manny Fresh, right?
Yeah.
His dad, you know, started DJing and stuff, and it went from there. Created a culture. You see what I'm saying? So just like they did it, you know, like P and all the boys did it, like, you know, like Jermaine Dupri did in New York, you know, did it, created his own little stuff in the 90s, you know. It's still, we're able to do it. We did it, and I give that boy Mandigo, you know, I give a shout out to them, and I give a shout out for Hurricane, them, all of them who created the Ratchet movement, you know, in Shreveport. That could have been something, right? It still can be something. But we need to take it just a little step further, you know, and start supporting each other. Like you said, man, create platforms for people to be able to perform and stuff like that. So, man, I'm with you on that, man. We need to be able to come together with this music. It's a lot of wonderful artists, just like your boy Q, man. He's a wonderful violinist, man. Yes, sir. Yes.
I'm just sending the message out with my music too. I just want y'all to feel the same passion and like love that I feel for me playing the violin, me doing music, like whatever it is. Like most of my life pertains around music. So I'm always trying to make that more than what it is, more than just music.
So speaking of that, do you stick with one genre or do you play multiple genres?
Actually, I don't. When I first started the violin, the genre that I mainly played was classical because I was in orchestras. But it was about 6th grade, I started playing like pop music and stuff. My dad has like this really old video of me playing. Oh my God. I think the first song that I really did, because I was big on like learning sheet music and stuff. So I would print out sheet music from online and try to learn it. But I would catch on fast too. I I was a quick learner when it came to learning the violin. Like I can memorize a song and then just be able to play it without it. So I played a Katy Perry song too. Don't y'all judge me out here, y'all. So I played Katy Perry Firework. That was the first song I played, and after that I knew I wanted to incorporate that with the classical vibe that I did. So I started out with classical, and that helped me move on to do pop, R&B, neo soul. Like R&B and neo soul is probably the ones that I get the most requests for like events. Right. So that's the ones I do the most, and I love all the artists. My favorite artist is Michael Jackson, so I'm always trying to play them different tunes on the violin, showing people like, hey, like you can use their voice that they have, and you can turn that and play it on the violin, or you can play it on another instrument or something like that. So I'm letting people see that side of me too.
Is there any other instruments you play?
Yeah, actually, I played a little bit of bass guitar, drums, piano, some of those different instruments. I didn't want to be like one-dimensional when it came to music. I wanted to have multiple things that I do with it, and because I fell in love with music, not just the violin. The violin was the first love. Seeing people sing, seeing people perform, seeing how they incorporate the beats and all the music into their stuff. Like I wanted to be a part of all of that
in the music industry as well too.
Right, that's dope. That's dope, and that goes with your networking, man, getting yourself on different platforms as well. So, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years with your music career?
In about 5 years, I'm saying it now. Y'all hearing it first. I wanna get a Grammy. I want to work hard to where I'm in a position to be in the Grammy. I want to be in the music industry, whether it's I can be a violinist for a traveling artist. I really want to have my own tour and be a traveling violinist myself. That's the goal right now, to get everything in motion to where I can just really travel to all the states, travel to all the countries, and just be able to show those people like, hey, like this is another side of the violin. And now you also get to see a black violinist, because it's not a lot of us out there. So seeing that also gives a lot of people hope to be like, okay, yeah, let me try to pick up this instrument, or let me try to learn something too.
Right. And discover something and know that it's not based on skin color playing the violin, right? Right. Again, we know who used to play first. Nah. Let me start.
Actually, since we're on the topic of Black history,
Black history.
Frederick Douglass actually played the violin, and it was this black violinist that taught him how to play as well. You can look that up if you want to, but yeah, Frederick Douglass used to play the violin as well too.
Right. So that's another fun fact.
And you think about it, man, in some of the movies that you see black violinists playing for the slave masters. So even before then, we know that for the kings and queens, we had violinists in Africa. So, hey, y'all, music is our history, y'all. It's our history. So we want to say thanks to Q Major, man, for coming out, man, for blessing the game. I am a fan, Doc. I really am. And I have some work for us to do.
Oh, we got it.
I got some work for us to do. Matter of fact, when we tune out, man, I'm going to tune in to let you meet saxophonist. We have to get her on the show as well. But Kay Livingston, man, Cole, man. Yeah. Cole on saxophone, so they trying to get back in the world. So we trying to put something together. Doc.
Oh yeah, we can get
to go perform together, man.
I'm always down to collect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And again, we want to thank everybody who's in the music industry, man, who's still thriving. Like I said, the culture here, the music culture in Shreveport is really have become something here. All the gospel artists, man, that come in and out of Shreveport, come from Shreveport. You know, man, it's Shawana Kirkendall. I can go name Kim Lumsey. All of you guys are some wonderful musicians, man. Wonderful musicians, and I thank you guys for keeping Shreveport, the greater Shreveport area, greater Caddo Parish, man, in the loop with the music, man. We were really doing some great things in Shreveport. All right, really doing some great things in Shreveport. So, again, Q Major in the building. Yes, sir. This guy gonna give us a song in just a second. Can you give us some information on the song, man?
So actually I'm gonna be playing 2 songs for y'all. I'm not gonna say the last song for y'all. I'm gonna let y'all see that. That's the surprise too. So if you on here, like, make sure you tuned into it, because after you see it, after that, it's gone. Like after that. But the first song that I'm playing is called Everything at Once. It's an original song that I made, and I worked with this producer as well. The song really kind of depicts like a lot of different emotions. It kind of tells like a tale of like a relationship, like kind of going bad. So it's kind of like describing that. Like you will feel multiple emotions when you hear the song too as well. And and the second song is for the WWE fans out there. So when we tune in for that one, y'all be ready to.
All right, Doc. I'm gonna let him go and get ready for this. And I'm ready. I'm eager to hear what he got. I'm hype about it. So I hope all of the fans of Q Major, please tune in to Truth, Realness, and Options, because we about to get it popping in here. And he's about to bless the game with these two beautiful pieces that he created. His original work. This brother wrote this stuff. So, hey, tune in. This Truth, Realness, and Options. The next thing you're hearing is Q Major on the violin.